Hello, everybody. This is Martha Alter Hines with Living the One Light. All right. I'm really excited to talk today about the new moon we have coming up on November 30th or December 1st, depending on where you are in the world. This is going to be a new moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, conjunct the star Antares. And just before I recorded this video, a few minutes ago, I recorded a video where I talked all about Antares and I channeled Antares or a experience of being with Antares, and it was really beautiful. And so by the time you're seeing this video, that will also be up on my YouTube channel. I wanted to channel Antares before recording this video because I wanted to see what came alive regarding Antares, because this new moon is going to be conjunct Antares. So yeah, and what came through was really, I loved it personally. So I would love to hear what comes alive for you in that channeling, because it's whatever comes alive for you there is going to be very relevant for this new moon. But so I'll talk about kind of some of the things that came alive for me, and also just other things going on that are relevant for this new moon in general. But go listen to that if you haven't already, and share with us what's alive for you and what therefore do you feel going on for you in this new moon energy. Okay, so this is super exciting. This new moon is so beautiful and so cool, and I want to show you why. So let me first show you the chart. And then I will show you where it is in the sky, and I'll say a few things. All right, so here's the chart of the new moon. It's going to be at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. Again, it'll be the new moon itself will be exact in the evening of November 30th, 2024, if you're on the west coast of the Americas. But for most of the world, it'll actually be December 1st when it's happening. So, yeah. Okay, so this 9 degrees of Sagittarius is conjunct the star Antares. Antares is about 10 degrees of Sagittarius. And Natasha Kealoha and I just recently did a video where she was talking a lot, such beautiful, beautiful sharing about Antares and that whole area of the sky. And so I highly recommend going back and listening to that. We talked in that video a lot about the Mercury retrograde, which is going to be happening at the time of this new moon as well. And yeah, there's just so much in that video I highly recommend connecting with. So yeah, so this new moon, again, 9 degrees of Sagittarius conjunct Antares, with Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius as well at 20 degrees of Sagittarius at that point. But okay, so one of the really fascinating, amazing things about this new moon is that it's the very, 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 very first new moon we have with Pluto now in Aquarius. So as you probably are aware, Pluto just entered Aquarius this past Tuesday. I'm recording this on Friday, November 22nd, 2024, and Pluto entered Aquarius fully on November 19th. So just 3 days ago as of the recording of this video. And this will be the very first lunation, right? The very first lunar cycle with Pluto being in Aquarius. That's a pretty big deal. So in a sense, what I can feel with this new moon is like it's a starter moment. It's a starter moment of the whole Pluto in Aquarius 19 plus years, right? Like I feel like what we could be doing as a collective at the time of this new moon actually is so beautiful and powerful, of sitting together and consciously choosing to be at a starting point, to hold space for what is our intention for this whole next phase of life, this whole next, from here on out, part of why we're here on the planet and all of it. Okay, so the energy of Antares is really, really key in that to me because this new moon is conjunct Antares. So let me show you in the sky what that means. And again, go to the channeled version of the channeling video that I just did on Antares, where I say a lot more about Antares and this part of the sky. And I'm not going to repeat all of that right here, but I'll just give you at least a taste of it, because it's important for what I want to share in this video as well. Okay, so here is where the sun and the moon will be at the time of this new moon. Here's the sun, here's the moon, and here is Antares. You can see the moon and the sun are right there with Antares. Absolutely. And Antares is in the constellation of the Scorpion. So it's at 10 degrees of Sagittarius in terms of the seasonal sign, but it's in the constellation of the Scorpion. And Antares is considered the heart of the Scorpion. So what I talk about in the other video that I'll repeat a little bit of here is that this part of the sky is absolutely amazing. I mean, everything is amazing. All of the cosmos is amazing. But this part of the sky is where the Milky Way is. So the Milky Way is that band across the sky that is actually our view of the side of our own galaxy. And in the center of the Milky Way is the Great Rift, which is actually the center of our galaxy, which is the black hole of our galaxy, right? And everything, all of the planets, the sun and all the planets, the main planets, move essentially along this red line, which is called the ecliptic, and they move in this direction. So what came alive for me as I was channeling about Antares is that because everything, the sun and all those main planets they pass Antares on their way to the Milky Way and on their way to the center of our galaxy, or that black hole, or the part of the sky where, I mean, they don't actually go into the black hole, right? But they pass by the part of the sky where our view of that black hole is. We can't actually see the black hole. Anyway, you get the idea. It's that part of the sky. That's the energy of the black hole is here in this part of the sky. But on the way to that part of the sky is Antares. And Antares is the heart of the Scorpion. So what came alive for me in that channeling, and you share what comes alive for you. What came alive for me was, whoa, it was the sense of on our way to the center of our galaxy, the center of our galaxy being where stars are birthed in our galaxy, right? And it's the black hole. So it's like the black hole of our galaxy is also called the galactic center. And for me, the galactic center is absolutely, in a sense, when we connect with that, we also connect with the beginning of existence, or source itself in a way. And so as we are heading toward this part of the sky with the Milky Way, we're heading, in a way, you could say, what I was feeling was back into a deep remembering of who we really are, like a rebirth ability in this part of experiencing our journey with the sky. But on our way to get to that place is Antares, and Antares is the heart of the Scorpion. So when I was sitting there with Antares in the channeled thing, what I felt come alive was this opportunity when we're with Antares to essentially be prepared for going into the heart of our galaxy, or going into that deep remembering of who we really are. And Antares, this ancient, massive old star. Antares is it is much, much, much older than our sun, our star, our sun. it's at the end, relatively toward the end of its own life cycle. And so it's extremely ancient. I mean, our sun is very ancient, but Antares is even more ancient. And Antares also is gigantic. It is so big that if we replaced our sun with Antares, Antares would extend past the Earth, past Mars, and into the asteroid belt. Like, that's how gigantic it is. It's huge and super, super old. So if I'm sitting there being with Antares, what came alive for me again was this like wise elder being whose energy was helping to purify and cleanse and balance my own being, and especially my heart. Like, I can feel it right now, the like this cleansing quality to it on our way to the center of our galaxy, or the deep knowing of who we really are. So that's what's alive there for me. It might be a completely different thing for you, but it feels really, really important. And I'll say, in this part of the sky also is Ophiuchus. So that's a whole topic in and of itself. We'll be talking about that in the Astrology 101 course for those of you in that course. For those of you who aren't in that course and would like to be in that course, I'm starting it again in February of 2025. I would love to have you there. And yeah, but just to say, we talked about this, Natasha and I talked about this in our video as well. This star up here, Rasselhag, I love. Wow, it is so amazing. So Rasselhag is it's technically called the head of the serpent bearer. Natasha associates it with the third eye of Ophiuchus. When I was researching about it, it's also, Kaylin Castell talks about it as being the crown chakra of Ophiuchus. So I don't know, all of the above. I just feel it is very, very magical, and an energy that absolutely can help us connect with our own seeing, our own knowing, the wisdom of ourselves as healer beings. Ophiuchus is Asclepius, who is the father of medicine. And there's just so much there. And so at this new moon also, Mercury will be going retrograde under Rasselhag. The sun and the moon also will be very near Rasselhag. So Rasselhag is technically considered 21, 22 degrees of Sagittarius, but I mean, it's so far off the ecliptic. I don't know. I wouldn't try to be so super precise with it. Clearly, Mercury and the sun and the moon are in that energetic, all of the above there. So Mercury technically is, if you're equating Rasselhag with the ecliptic, it's conjunct Rasselhag at the time of this new moon. I don't necessarily think of it that way. I think of it as Rasselhag is so far over here that it's just, yeah, the new moon and Mercury, I feel, they're definitely in that energetic. So again, what comes alive for you? That's my association with Rasselhag. It's like this magical. I really love Natasha's association with the third eye. That's probably what comes alive for me energetically the most. But I love Kaylin's perspective of it as the crown chakra too. Yeah, it's definitely, especially to be conjunct Mercury, is, our ways of perceiving, our ways of knowing, maybe getting cleared as the new moon is with Antares, the heart of the scorpion. And again, this is like a very cleansing, clearing energy with Ophiuchus holding the two snakes, the new moon being in the heart of the scorpion. There's this, just these themes of what we associate as potentially being scary are actually also potentially very medicinal, right? And we have this transformative medicinal quality to this whole area of the sky as we're sitting there in that new moon, which again is the very first new moon of Pluto being in Aquarius, as we are sitting in the part of the sky heading into the heart of our galaxy. And another thing I find really, really fascinating is that in this time of history, this isn't always true throughout all of time, but in this moment in time, when the sun reaches the heart of our galaxy, that's essentially the December solstice time. So that's in the northern hemisphere, the time of year, of course, that's the darkest, right? And that happens to be when the sun reaches the part of the sky where the black hole of our galaxy is. So fascinating. There's just so much there to sit with, but we're not there yet. We're at the time of this new moon. We're here with Antares and Rasselhag, and we're about to go to solstice and the center of the heart of our galaxy. But this is like this new moon is maybe a time of setting a new intention at this brand new, new blossom coming out of our time of Pluto in Capricorn, and now it's our time of Pluto in Aquarius, and it's this brand new blossom, the first one, the first new moon, where we get to sit and be with whatever that energetic is for us at this new time, right? Where we can set our intentions for the purity of our heart, the purity of our seeing, the purity of our knowing, as we prepare then to go into the deep heart of the center of who we are, the deep heart of the heart of our galaxy at the time of solstice. And just to end on this note, because it's fascinating, just all the choreography of it. At the solstice, I'm actually going to be holding a free gathering. It won't be precisely the day of solstice. It'll be like a day later. So it'll be on Sunday, December 22nd. Actually, when let me look at this. This is so cool now that I think of it. Okay, here, this right here is where the sun and the moon will be at the time of the new moon on November 30th, December 1st. But by the time of solstice, here the sun is in the center of the Milky Way. And by the time I hold this free gathering, here's the sun in the Milky Way. Okay. That's really, really awesome, actually. And conjunct the part of the Sagittarius constellation where the arrow is pointing straight into the heart of the Milky Way. Wow. Okay. Yes. So on that day, Sunday, December 22nd, 2024, then I will be hosting this free gathering. I would love to have you there. If you haven't signed up yet, I'll put the link here. Please sign up for it. It's going to be called A Gathering of the Council of Infinity. And I hadn't even thought of this when I planned this or when I was guided to do this. Wow, the sun will be in the heart of our Milky Way at that moment. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be channeling for us to come into the Council of Infinity, which is ourselves as part of all of the realms of infinite benevolent beings who are our community. Like literally, we are part of infinity. And we, in this time of forgotten how to, or the reality that we can connect with, communicate with infinite realms infinite dimensions all at the same time. We are it, it is us. Um, and when we're looking for solutions for, you know, the needs of our world, what the spirit world says to me adamantly over and over and over again is that it's going to come. Part of what we need to be doing is coming back into connection and regular, continual communication with these infinite realms of existence, benevolent realms of existence. And that's our natural way of being. So they're having me hold this free gathering, and they had me do one last June as well. I have a sense they'll probably have me do these periodically for free because they need us. We need us to remember each of our own unique ways of being and connecting in with these infinite realms of existence and being in the oneness of it, which is our natural state. And amazing that the sun will be right in the heart of our galaxy at that moment. Wow. It's just for you. I'm just realizing this right now. Very cool. Yeah, so join me for that, and invite anybody and everybody who you feel called to invite to be there. It'll be live and it'll be recorded. You can have the recording indefinitely. Um, and also please join my free Living the One Light new online community. Yeah, and much more. So I'm putting lots of links here for many things and much more to come. And go back and listen to the channeled one and share with us what comes alive for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you soon. And if you haven't subscribed to this video, to this channel, please do that too. Okay. All right, I'll see you soon.